members of Kwara APC from across the length and breadth of the state. We are ordinarily here in Abuja to consult and rub minds with some of our compatriots and national party leadership on issues related to how we can further leverage on the hard work and goodwill of our governor and representatives in various government offices to get more goodies for our people. Of course, we use this opportunity to thank Mr. President for his love for Kwara. He has not only given us 2 ministers, but he has also given many senior government positions to our sons and daughters. But like Oliver Twist, we have come to also lobby our representatives and ask for more. Matters arising. It is on the sideline of our consultations that we also wish to make some clarifications to members of the public, particularly our national party leaders, on some issues concerning party administration back home. First, we throw our weight behind the decision of the national headquarters of our party to appoint a dogged, committed, and level-headed party chieftain, Alhaji Abdullahi Samari, as the acting chairman of the party. This indeed is a blessing. It's a life-saving decision for the party that had been in the vice grip of power-drunk and self-conceited individuals whose only loyalists are garrulous and selfish few, whose only anger with the governor is that he did not make himself a yes man or a stooge through whom the public vault is going to be thrown open. For many months, the former chairman, Bashir Bolarewa, and his co-travelers have launched a campaign of calumny against the gentleman, to the chagrin of the Kwara public, who wonder what could warrant these party chieftains from the ruling party attacking their own governor, despite his glaring record of achievements in less than 2 years, despite his humility, his openness, and prudence. It is on record that these gangs dedicated a weekly program to denigrate the governor, his administration, and the House of Assembly. They never missed any opportunity to denigrate the office of the governor. Certainly, no system, much less an organized political party, can survive the level of indiscipline, arrogance, and unbridled ambition of these lousy few. The intervention of the national headquarters of the party is therefore timely and necessary to save the party from this oppressive, self-centered gang. If anyone doubted our description of these few people, their public show of shame yesterday here in Abuja has again shown who they are. It is on this note that we condemn their foul language against the national leadership of our party. Having said this, they remain our brothers, and we apologize to the national headquarters leadership of our party for their unruly conduct and choice of words. Specifically, on behalf of the teaming members of our party, we apologize to the National Caretaker Committee Chairman and Governor of Yobe State, His Excellency Governor Mai Mada Buni, and the National Caretaker Committee Secretary, Senator John James Akpamune. Kwarans, despite being brave and proud people, are not known for irreverent or foul language. We also apologize to the North Central Caucus of our party, especially the Governor of Niger State, His Excellency Sani Bello, over the unsavory comments and unfair allegations by these few people. Contrary to their claims, Honorable Bashir Bolarewa was rightly removed as chairman of the party for his anti-party conducts, which include but are not limited to open condemnation and denigration of the achievement of the APC government for his own selfish objectives, using the radio and social media platforms to launch attacks on the person of the governor and members of the State Assembly without any provocation. There is no love lost between him and the majority of the State Executive Council members who he never consulted. His refusal to accept the leadership status of the governor and his utter disrespect for the office of the governor in his language and conduct. It has become a norm for Honorable Bolarewa and his co-travelers to organize thugs and miscreants to disrupt programs. The actions, utterances, and general behavior of these few party chieftains against the governor and his administration are motivated by superciliousness, personal aggrandizements, and their desire to ensure the failure of the governor and his administration. I call them association of failed aspirants. Honorable Bashir Omolaja can ran a divisive state executive council and never missed any opportunity to oppose the government elected on the platform of the party he purported to lead. He became the major opposition to the government elected on the platform of his own party without any just cause. Against these backdrops, we fully support the decision of the party to remove Honorable Bashir Bolarewa, as his continuous leadership of the party was a disaster waiting to happen. We align ourselves with his replacement with a rather cool-headed, committed, and mature party chieftain, Alhaji Abdullahi Samari, who we are sure can better unify the party. Did Honorable Bolarewa truly lead the APC to victory? The claims by these chieftains that Honorable Bolarewa led the party to victory are laughable and sheer grandstanding. Here is a party chairman who only campaigned with the governor on 2 occasions throughout the campaign period. And his appearances were after our party had won the presidential elections. And it was clear where the people of Kwara State were going. The APC won a landslide victory in Kwara because the people were tired of the old order and wanted a breath of fresh air. The majority of APC elders and members of the party in Kwara State are solidly behind the governor, who, despite the challenges of resources, is doing so much to deliver on his campaign promises to the masses amid stiff opposition from a few self-centered members of his own party. These lots employ intimidation, lies, blackmail, and bullying in their campaign of calumny against the governor. They openly downplay the visible achievements of the Otoge, the notable achievement of Otoge. The likes of Akogu and others have tried to personalize the Otoge struggle. Otoge, I hope you know what it means. Yes. Enough is enough. This is dubious. For students of history, the Otoge campaign indeed predated this republic. It is an idea that had long been etched in the minds of the people. Akogu joined the progressive fold only in 2003 or thereabouts, when he fell out with the Sarakis. He was commissioner and House of Assembly member through the patronage of the older Saraki. The Otoge struggle had long begun before then, and the likes of the governor had always been part of the struggle to free the state from what Akogun and others never thought was evil. It is particularly insulting for Professor Oba and his likes to lay credit for the struggle. Professor Oba only joined the struggle in 2014 after losing the governorship slot within the Bukola Saraki family. Why the governor enjoys massive support. Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak remains a man of the people, and he stands tall as a man of honor among the majority of the party members in the state. In spite of the unfair demarketing campaign launched against his administration by some of these party chieftains and their co-travelers in the opposition. This is not by chance. Not only has the governor demystified the office of governor with his uncommon humility, simplicity, and prudence, he has redefined the story of our state in many positive ways. Whether in health, education, roads, or water, the governor has touched lives in many ways never seen before. He has strategically taken governance to the people such that there is no electoral ward in the state that cannot point to one or two things that they have benefited in just 18 months of his administration. The health sector has received about the highest priority even before the advent of COVID-19 pandemic. And the result is there for everyone to see. The administration has started rehabilitation works across dozens of discrete primary health care centers. Long abandoned routine immunization and vaccination is back. For the first time, Kwara now has isolation centers equipped with modern gadgets like ventilators, defibrillators, patient monitors, and others. Its oxygen plant has been revived. For the first time, the state now has ambulances with capacities to manage patients in critical conditions on the go. Indeed, Kwara is now listed as a list state in healthcare sector. The governor is changing the story of Kwara in the education sector also. More than 7 years after it came under the hammer, the education sector, the state, Kwara is now off the UBEC blacklist. It has accessed a backlog of 7.1 billion naira UBEC counterpart funds with a matching grant of 7.1 billion to gradually reposition the schools in the state. Aside from the upcoming UBEC interventions, the state on its own is carrying out renovation works in at least 43 basic schools. With the UBEC funds in the kitty, no less than 600 basic schools are to get facelift, while teachers are also to be trained. The transparent process to recruit 4,701 qualified and competent teachers into our public primary, junior, and senior secondary schools is ongoing and should be commended by all. In May 2019, water tanker was the source of potable water in most parts of the capital city, even in the government house. Pipe-borne water is back and stable in Ilorin metropolis, while nearly 500 boreholes have either been dug or rehabilitated across the state. No fewer than 9 waterworks have been fixed since this governor came on board, while contracts for more have been awarded. With the water situation being tackled, Kwara is keen into the water, sanitation, and hygiene. wash, a key component of the Sustainable Development Goal 6 to promote hygiene and end open defecation. Under this scheme, many schools and hospitals across the states will now, for the first time, get tap water and pour flush toilets. The administration is ending the helicopter money politics that had plagued Kwara's past. Within the past 18 months, the administration has fixed over 100 rural and urban roads, culverts, bridges. Many agrarian communities are now getting standard roads. Those hitherto cut off from the civilization are being linked, while at least 500 rural roads are to be fixed under the World Bank enabled rural access and agricultural marketing project, arrangement for which the administration had earlier paid counterpart funds. These road projects are spread across the senatorial districts, deliberately linking agrarian areas to the urban centers. Modeled after President Buhari's SIP, Social Intervention Program, Kwara State Social Investment Program is the governor's multifaceted and non-partisan response to the question of extreme poverty and government's poor attention to the vulnerable. Under the scheme, at least 21,623 petty traders have accessed soft loans to stay afloat, while over 10,000 transporters who could not work during the COVID-19 lockdown were supported. Similarly, already enumerated 10,000 vulnerable poor senior citizens from age 60 are now getting monthly stipends under what will be the state's first ever institutionalized social intervention scheme. The scheme is also offering free digital training to young people to help them cope in the new economy. Over 3,000 persons received training in July, while 10,000 more are undergoing a richer version of the course in the second phase of the program. In conjunction with Woodlab Innovation and Grow with Google, a total of 30,000 young people are billed to benefit from the training within 3 years. Proprietors across 1,119 private schools in the state were given soft loan to help cushion the effects of the COVID-19 shutdown. The federal government has indeed hailed Kwara State's version of the Owo Isowo. So don't blame me. Owo Isowo. Trader money. Trader Barubaman indeed among you. For its innovative features, such as the inclusion of BVN of the beneficiaries. This is just a few of the many interventions he has made to lift our people out of poverty. The interesting thing about him is that he sees governance as an affair that transcends party loyalty. And this explains why he has become so popular with the masses, to the chagrin of his traducers. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, here is a governor who has driven his own private car since the day one of his administration to date. Here is a governor who lives in his own house till date. Here is a governor who is not taking salary. Here is a governor who is willingly opening up his government for accountability through the phenomenal social audit process. Here is a governor who just wants to deliver his campaign promises to the people, despite the biting economic realities. Here is a governor who gives every part of the state a fair sense of belonging by always identifying with them in times of cultural celebration or mourning, and extending government patronage to every segment of the state. Today, Kwara is a model state on the continent in youth and women inclusion in government. The government has positively changed the narrative of staff welfare in the state civil service. There is now regular payment of salary, no more percentage payment of salary, and promotion of staff has resumed, while arrears of salaries and allowances dating back to as far back as 2012 are now being paid. Besides, pensioners now enjoy regular payment of pensions. A sustainable arrangement for payment of gratuities on monthly basis had now been put in place. Following the aftermath of the EndSARS protests across the nation, which led to widespread looting of private businesses, Kwara State has stood out in offering support for those businesses in a transparent manner. Why then will anyone from his own party go against him? The only explanation is that such persons are not interested in the development but in their own hidden agenda, which is at variance with the Otoge mantra. Enough is enough mantra. We have kept quiet for long in the expectation that good sense will prevail. But silence is no longer golden, and it is about time every patriot within and outside our party stood by the humble and hard-working gentleman in order not to allow a few persons with dangerous sense of entitlement and greed to erode the historic gains of 2019. Once again, we declare our total support for the removal of the former chairman and his replacement with a more mature, amiable party man, Alhaji Samari. That decision came at the right time. It was the lifeline that the party desperately needed to escape the bumpy journey to the Golgotha that Honorable Bolarewa was taking it to. Thank you, and God bless. By the time I came in, I was in Malaysia when I came in for the elections. He was the candidate of the party. So as far as I'm concerned, I should blame you for giving him the ticket, because I came and met him as the candidate and he asked me to take over the campaign, and I did and delivered. And God in his infinite mercy gave us victory. Now, if people choose not to be with him, it is their damn business. If a minister or 2 or 10 ministers are not with him, and the people of the state are with him, it is all well and good. And if they are not with him, I have senators here around who are representatives of the people across the entire state. And for goodness sake, an ambassador is with him. So what next? If a minister is not.
My name, Barrister Kunle Suleiman, the chairman of the Elders Caucus. The pre-primary event and the actual primary, which they talked about, I just laugh. Let me tell you, what is APC in Kwara today is mainly people who defected from PDP in order to run away from Bukola Saraki when he defected to APC, to PDP. And we know ourselves. We knew where we were coming from. We knew definitely that group coming from PDP will constitute the majority of APC, and they will vote Abraman Abrazak. The result of the primary is clear. Abraman scored 29,000 plus. The second person, Professor Oba Abrahim, scored 23,000, while Shuaibu Yaman scored 22,000. The result is very, very clear. Primaries were conducted at every ward in Kwara, 193 wards. The results were collated. This gang up of failed gubernatorial aspirants, most of them appealed to the electoral committee and they lost their appeal. And on clear ground, I want to give you just one example. Shuaibu Yaman claimed he won in a particular local government. Professor Obabu said he won in that particular local government. And the result from the electoral panel sent from the national said Abraman won. They were asked how they know they won. Shuaibu said his agent reported to him. Obabu said his agent reported to him. The national now asked, which of the agents should we believe just on one local government? Which of the agents should we believe? It appears each agent is reporting to his master what will make him happy. That if they were to be the national sent people, those are the agents of the national. Which one would they have followed? And all of you are claiming to win in the same place. And the report of the panel is this way. They would rather take the decision of the panel than that of your agents. And so they lost their appeal. It was a killer thing. It was done in open. So I don't know how somebody who has been trying and has been failing and will now come and insist this one in particular he has won. Gentlemen of the press, the story about not winning the primary is not right. It was conducted, it was won, lost and won. They followed the legal process, appeal, they lost their appeal. We had thought after that moment, everybody will come together and we will be moving forward. Though some of the gubernatorial aspirants, whose names I want to mention, continue to support the governor from the moment he won the ticket. One is MM, that is Moshood Mustafa, former member of House of Rep. There is Dele Begore, who is solidly behind him. There is Ambassador Saraki, who is with him, and Modi Bokawu, who are solidly with him. Those who felt they must be leaders in hell rather than be followers in heaven, led by Professor Oba Ibrahim, continue to give problem to the governor. If the governor loses, it's APC that is losing. It's not Abraman as a person. So we see them as people who are no longer interested in APC. Thanks very much.
Let me add something, please.
Yes.
I just want you to remember, ministers are not elected positions. President Mohammed Buhari, in his wisdom, picked on whoever he wants as his minister. It was not based on capability of such fellow to win elections. I will check on the pedigree and background of the two ministers you are talking about. You will know what I'm saying. If they can actually win election in Kwara State.
Otoge is already against them. They can come to Abuja and say what nonsense. Let each one of them go back to their local government and say it.
Come and meet us on the
That
ground.
is number one. People, I call them paperweight politicians. I'm from Ilorin West, the same local government with Professor Babu. My own way, please, my own way. The same local government with Professor Babu, we have tried our strength repeatedly in the PDP. So I don't even recognize him as a strong politician. But they can come to Abuja and say, because I'm a prof, I was a VC of a university. That has nothing to do with grassroots politics. A professor will come and learn. Therefore, we are not igniting anything. Otoge is already against them. They misconstrued what is Otoge. Otoge is not about a change of personality that removes Saraki and we go there and we'll be doing the same thing. No way. Otoge is that we are stopping that era and we are introducing a new system of governance which has been described here and all of you have seen it. Therefore, we are not igniting anybody against them. But once they go against the Otoge mantra, Otoge will fight them. Thank you.